Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Statis. Ishaka here, pursuing my post-graduation from Lakshmibai National Institute of Physical Education Gwalior, and this is my first academic video, and in this we'll be learning about the correlation and its computation on SPSS. So let's get started. So what is correlation? So correlation is a statistical term which describes the degree to which two variables move in coordination with one another. Correlation shows the relationship between two variables. Variables can be of any kind like time, age, height and work. So next we'll talk about the types of correlation. So there are two types of correlation, type 1 and type 2. In type 1 correlation, there is positive correlation, negative correlation and zero correlation. And in type 2, we'll talk about the linear correlation, partial correlation and multiple correlation. In this video, we'll only focus on type 1 correlation. So first is positive correlation. In this, two variables tends to move in the same direction. In simpler words, we can say that if one variable is increasing, the other will also increase, and if one variable is decreasing, the other will also decrease. So let's understand this by an example. As you can see the sun which shows temperature, and you can see the ice creams which shows the ice cream sales. As the temperature increases, the ice cream sales will also increases. So this is an example of positive correlation where you can see the increase in temperature and increase in ice cream. And if there a decrease in temperature, the ice cream sales will also decrease. So this is an example of positive correlation. Moving further, we'll talk about negative correlation. In this, the relationship between two variables is exactly opposite all the time. Or we can say that a negative correlation shows a relationship between two variables where one variable increases, the other decreases, and vice versa. So let's understand this by an example again. So there is an increase in altitude which results in decrease in temperature. So if people climb a higher mountain, obviously the temperature will decrease and they will feel cold. So this is a negative correlation example. So next is zero correlation. A zero correlation indicates that there is no relationship between the variables. As you can see the boy measuring his height and see the next boy with his grades has no relationship between each other. So this is an example of zero correlation. Moving further, we'll talk about the computation of coefficient of correlation, which means we'll talk about the different methods of how to calculate correlation. First one is the product movement method, which is also known as Pearson's product movement method. Second, we have Kendall-Stowe correlation coefficient, which is also known as Kendall-Stowe. Third, we have rank difference method, which is also known as Spearman's rank difference method. In this video, we'll focus only on product movement method. So, product movement method is also known as Pearson's R. It describes the relationship between two variables, and Pearson's R ranges between -1 and +1. In simple words, Pearson's correlation coefficient calculates the effect of changes in one variable when the other variable changes. So here the theoretical part is over now. So let's move on to the SPSS screen for the calculation of Pearson's R method. So this is how the SPSS screen looks like. As you can see the spreadsheet here, where each column represents a variable and each row represents a case and each number represents a data value. As I have taken two variables, first one is height and second is weight. And now we are going to calculate it by the help of Pearson's R method. For that, we'll go first on analyze, then we'll go on correlate, and then we'll select the bivariate. After clicking on bivariate, a pop-up dialog box will open like this. On left hand side, you can see the variables which we have taken. We'll shift these variables into the variables on the right side. We'll select the weight also and then shift it. So now we'll calculate it by the help of Pearson method. Here is two other method also, which is Kendall-Stowe and Spearman method, which is also used for different data. For now, we'll only use the Pearson method. So we'll click on OK. So again, a dialog box will pop up like this, and this is called the correlation matrix. So in the first row, you can see the Pearson correlation with height, which is 1, and with weight, which is 0.749. Significant two-tail is 0.001 and n, which is the number of scores we have taken, which is 15. So as you are seeing, correlation is flagged with 2 asterisks, which means significance is greater than 0.01. which means that chances are only 1 in 1,000. The significance level at which null hypothesis is rejected. So these results are considered statistically significant.